Welcome to another episode of Business Data Dialogue. This is where we demystify data for you. Thank you so much and welcome. Now, after the last episode, I had three people contact me. Two of them happened to be pastor, and the third person, a content creator. Two of them were asking the same question. But the pastors in particular, they asked the same exact question, but in different languages. Now, in summary, they called me at different times. They don't know each other. They were asking that, okay, we watched your last episode, and what you are doing relates more to businesses, is for business organizations, business people. Is there a way this data thing can benefit the church? Well, the answer is a yes. Now, for today, I want to address the church. Next week, perhaps I will address the question posed by the content creator. Now, the church is an organization that deals with people and has an objective for growth. Is an organization that has people in it, it deals with people, and it has an objective for growth. Now, with these, the same thing with businesses. Businesses deal with people, and the objective is to grow. So they are all the same. The same way this benefits a business is the same way it benefits a church organization. Now, today I want to be specific with churches, which also businesses can also learn from because they are the same thing. Now, there are four major ways a church can use data. There are a lot of ways, but there are four major ways. One is in membership engagement. They need data to understand their members that will enable them engage them properly, uniquely, as groups or as individuals. Two is communication strategies. They need data to understand the best and effective platforms to reaching the congregation. Three is event planning. The churches utilize data to optimize church events and programs. They need data to optimize the planning. And number four is community outreach. The church needs demographic data to target specific communities for outreach programs. So this is where the church needs data. And these four things are mainly where the church's interests lie. Now, let's take the first one, membership engagement, which we are going to use to cover every other thing. They can use this to extrapolate for other things. Membership engagement. Here, the church will use data to understand the preferences, the needs, the attendant pattern of members, the member satisfaction, and involvement of members in church programs and activities. They need data to understand these. Now, many people go to church, but we do not all have the same reason for going to church. People go to church for different reasons. Many people are in church, but they do not all have the same need. People in church have different needs. Their needs differ. They do not all have the same preferences in terms of how things are done or in terms of what is being done. They have different preferences. So the issue is that most churches think that everybody comes for the same thing, everybody has the same need, the same thing satisfies everybody. No. Most times people leave churches but because they are tired. Their needs are not being met. Their innermost desires and satisfactions are not being met. So they want to look elsewhere. But if the church can put some more time in trying to find out these things, It is better for everybody. The people will stay and the church will grow bigger. So the objective of this, of using data for all this, is to create an engaging and fulfilling church experience for everyone in the church, thereby enabling growth in the church. That's the objective of doing this. When everyone in the church, when their needs are met, their innermost desires are satisfied, the reason why they come to church, they get it. They will stay and the church grows. Now, one of the ways to collect the information to do all these, there are a lot of ways to do it, but one of the ways is through surveys. That's one of the ways to do this is through surveys. A lot of churches are doing this already, but it depends on what their objective is. But if your objective is to maximize, optimize the experiences of the church members that will make them stay and others come in, you have to do this. Now, so one of the ways to do this is via surveys. You get surveys, send it out to ask these questions. Now you have to ask all manner of questions, especially along demography. The surveys have to be anonymous. You don't have to start asking their name. So before people will shy away from filling them. So they have to be anonymous, but you need to ask questions in the survey that will tell you the exact profile of the respondent, their age group, a lot of demographic things that will tell, okay, this is the exact profile of this person responding to this. That's very important. Now, this is how to implement surveys. Number one, you don't just wake up and start designing surveys. One is to design the survey. You don't just wake up and start designing surveys. There are people that are trained to design surveys. There are people that went to school to study these research methods, which include survey design. So look around the church to see if there's such a person in the church that can help to design the surveys. And because of the objective we are looking at, these surveys need sorry, these surveys need some elements of quantitative and qualitative methods. And it is someone that understands this that can do it. Surveys are scientific tools. So you need people that understand the science to do it. So all you need to do as a pastor of the church, tell them, this is my objective. This is why I'm doing this survey. So once they understand the objective, they will design the survey in such a way to collect the appropriate information. So number one is design the surveys. Then number two, use an online tool to implement the survey. You are not going to be giving them the survey operates on paper and giving them to fill on paper. No, that would be too cumbersome. Many people will not be able to do that. You can't reach everybody. So number two is to use an online tool. There are a lot of free online tools. There's a Google form. I think there is a Monkey survey or something. Use one of them to implement the survey. So the survey that the experts have designed, put them in one of those such online tools. That is, identify the one that will serve your purpose best and put it in there. Number three, sensitize the members. That is very important. This aspect is very important because if you have taken the time and pen to design a survey, taking the time and pen to put it on a tool, and nobody is responding, is a wasted effort. So you need to sensitize the people. You have to let them know their role in that process. You have to let them understand that they are part owners of this process. They are not just spectators. This process also belongs to them. They are part owners of this process. It can be something along this line. We are encouraging everyone to actively participate in this survey and feedback sessions. Your voice matters, and this is your chance to shape the future of our church community. Let them understand it that way. Let them know the role, the important role they're playing, that without them, that process will fail. That way, they'll be encouraged to fill out the survey. But please make the survey very simple. Not don't have 100 questions or 150 questions. No, very simple, so very simple form. But to get out the information you're looking for that would need for all these things for your objective. Then number 4, share the link. So many churches have a WhatsApp group or some other online communities. Yes, they have some WhatsApp group or some other online communities. Many churches have them. So, but there are churches that are big. They are big. They don't have one single WhatsApp group. They don't. So, but those big churches, they have something like cell systems where people gather in subgroups, in little groups. So you can also reach out to them via those cell systems. The objective is to show that everybody is aware of those links and everybody fills the survey. And like I told you, one of the ways to ensure that that happens is that make them the owners of that process by sensitizing them, becomes their own. So these are things you need to do. Once the link goes out, they start filling, and their response starts coming back. But before I continue, I need to mention something very important. Here we are dealing with data. We want to analyze those data and bring out insights from them. It's not everyone that has the skills or is trained to do this. So I will suggest to the pastors, before you start this process, try and get a data scientist or a data analyst involved. You may not need to go and hire someone. Inside the church, we have a lot of people doing different things. There may be one person in the church that understands this. Just ask. So when you get the person, let the person be part of the process from the onset. It's very important. So without someone that understands data analysis and data management, you may not get much out of this. So have one standby. So in summary, this is what I have said in summary. Number 1 is data collection of information. You need to collect information for the purpose you need it. You need to understand your people and you want to engage them efficiently and effectively to give them the maximum experience in the church that will enable church growth. So design a survey that will collect all the information that you need for this. Number 2, when the information starts coming in, you need to structure and organize them. How does this happen? You need to create a database, have them in a database, or have all those information maybe in an Excel spreadsheet. You need to organize them somehow. They don't need to be scattered here and there. And then number 3, after that, you start identifying patterns. So this is where the data analyst or data scientist comes in. This is where he uses data analysis tools or platforms to analyze those data, to bring out the trend or insights from them. This is where it happens. So he uses the tools, whatever tool the person wants to use, or whatever platform is available. Even like I said in the last episode, Excel spreadsheet can also do all these things. So use it to identify patterns in the data that you collected, identify trends in the data you collected. And then number 4, segmentation. You have identified those trends and patterns. Then you need to segment them. You segment the data based on different criteria, such as age groups, interest, participations, their need, their involvement in whatever criteria you know that's suitable for you. Segment those data. This segmentation helps to understand the preferences of specific subgroups within the church community. It will help you a lot. And then number five is visualization. You need to visualize the data. This is also where the data scientists also use visualization tools such as Tableau, Power BI, or even Excel to put the data in form of charts and graphs so that the church leaders don't need to start looking at numbers scattered on screen or scattered on paper. But with those visualization tools, they can put it in terms of visuals. So at a glance, you see what is happening. Once you look at a chart or a graph, at a glance, you understand what is happening. That's very important. It makes it easier to understand the story that the data is telling, rather than you coming to look at a whole lot of numbers more jumbled on paper. Visualization is very important. It makes it easy. That's the best way to present the result of data analysis. And then the sixth one is interpretation. Those results you are seeing, it will now be interpreted. Okay, this one is saying this. This is saying that 50% of the respondents say that this is what they prefer. 30% of them say that this is their need. 10% say that they want to be communicated with this way. 70% say that these programs are their favorites. This percentage say that. So those are all that. Then you interpret what you are seeing. And then lastly, you use those interpretations to make informed decisions. Informed decisions. Decisions around communication strategy, decisions around the kind of programs and events and your time. Make general decisions around people's preferences. If even this insight you got from this may even cause you to change your order of service or do something, because it is the people that matter, not the process. The people were not meant for the process. The process are meant for the people. So if people says otherwise, it can change the process. And but without you hearing from the people, without you having data from people to analyze what they need, you may not know. You may keep on doing the old thing that the people, they don't no longer feel what is happening, and they may want to go elsewhere. So this is the power of data. So at the end of this, it will give you insights to make informed decisions of how things are done in the church, of how you communicate with them, of even how you plan and schedule your programs and events. It is the power of data. Even how you do your outreach, where you have your outreach in communities and all that. That is the power of data. And with this, I can assure you, once people start having fulfilling and satisfying church experience, they will stay and others will come. They will even invite others to subscribe to this so that whenever there's a new episode, you'll get an alert, you'll be notified about it. Thank you so very much. See you next edition. Bye.